Mary Kay, we won't know for sure, maybe even tomorrow, if Baker Mayfield plays against the Steelers or not. Do you get a sense? What sense do you get? Does Baker have a legitimate chance at playing, or do you think the Browns play it extra safe with him?
Well, I actually think he does have a shot to play. I know he really wants to play in this game. He feels that he will be sufficiently healed by the time Sunday rolls around, and that he'll be able to go out there despite the fact that he has a fractured humerus bone in that shoulder as well as the torn labrum. I know he really wants to give it a go. It's just a matter of what the medical staff says when it comes time. What he has to be able to do is pass a strength test. That's vitally important. He has to be able to protect himself. And they also have to know that the shoulder isn't going to be popping out again, because when it does, that's when you risk further re-injury. But having said all of that, he's not ruled out. He still has a chance.
Is Kevin Stefanski, is he playing it close to the vest, or is there a sense that, rest wouldn't necessarily help him? I guess, does an extra week off help him, I guess, is the question I'm getting at there.
Any little bit of time that Baker Mayfield can rest this shoulder, he'll be better off for it. That doesn't mean that they will do that, but the more rest he can get, the more that fracture can heal. That's a minimum of about 4 to 6 weeks to let that non-displaced fracture in the shoulder heal up. So it's just a matter of risk versus benefit. If they feel that a Baker Mayfield with a bit of a fracture in the shoulder and the torn labrum in the left non-throwing shoulder, of course, if that, he could get through that game without, really much more of a setback, then they might throw him out there and see if he can actually do it. But there are a lot of things to consider, and there will be a lot of input from different people involved.
Does this injury at all factor into the contract situation, the contract extension, and any of that that is awaiting Baker Mayfield, do you think?
I think it does to a certain extent. I don't think that there's now really a sense of urgency to get that contract done. I think that if he was humming along the way everyone thought he would be at this point, I think they would have tried to sit down and try to hammer something out by around the trade deadline. Just kind of that's sort of the midpoint of the season, and that's about when when I think both sides kind of hoped to be having substantive talks. But the injury has been a setback for him and for the team. And therefore, I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of shelve the matter until after the season. Having said that, you can't completely rule out an extension during the season, but it looks to me more likely now that it would probably be after the season.